say that again? What did you just say?
If you tell somebody that a person, one of Jehovah's Witnesses, are obligated to report to a corporation or to somebody that's in charge, that is not entirely true. If they want to do that, that's fine. And you know what?
Oh.
That helps to organize our activity to see where there's a need for more
reported time
to preach.
is just optional. Can I confirm that you're saying that?
Let me just illustrate it this way. What if there was a need where people weren't getting visited in one area? How would you know that? And then to send more people to help out to visit them.
Right. Well, what I asked what I asked you just now, though, was can you confirm that you are saying reporting time is optional? Could you confirm that?
Whatever anybody does is entirely up to them.
So could you just say yes? It's optional then. No repercussions, no problem. It's optional.
Well, what I'm telling you, Christine, is that if you what a person does, it's not because you're making it sound like this is something that you could be ostracized for if you don't do it a certain way, and you know that's not right.
Oh, that would be shocking if they did that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That would be
so, like I said, Christine, is there something that I could help you with to understand better about Jehovah's Witnesses?
Yes,
or?
Actually, yes. I am so glad you asked because I did have one question.
Okay.
A lot of witnesses tell me about watching the broadcast and stuff like that, or the website, the whole website, and they have this one part, like where they show videos. Did you ever see any of those? Okay. Do you watch them like all the time? Pretty much? I do. There's like a monthly one, I guess. But like there's a guy talking usually and, stuff like that. So I just had a question about one of them. I really enjoy learning about history and theology. And I have a question about the September one. Did you see that one?
You know what? I did, but I'm not really sure what you mean. Go ahead and ask me.
Oh, okay. The man that was...
I don't have them memorized. I'm so sorry.
I know. I shouldn't have said September. It was about just the generation was what the topic was. And a man on there was had a chart that he was pointing to, with a pointer, as what he was talking about, explaining. He said the most curious thing. He said that the anointed people, so I guess those were like Jehovah's Witnesses, right? When he says the anointed class or the anointed people, in 1914 were the only ones who recognized the sign that Jesus spoke of and understood it correctly. Did you hear that part?
Once again, Christine, I can't.
Well, would you?
It may have said it. I don't know.
7, if you want to check it out. But because I've been asking like a couple of different people, just trying to understand why he would say such a thing. Because in point of fact, in 1914, they believed Jesus had already come in 1874, and that's what they were teaching in all their books until about 1932. So I was just wondering what he meant by that. My jaw just dropped to the floor. I mean, do you know anything about why he would say that?
Well, what are you trying to find out, Christine? I'm not really sure what you're wondering about.
He used that as almost a proof of that they were God's people or something. That they were the only ones, he was making a very unique claim for them, the only ones that recognized the sign of Jesus' presence, and the only ones to interpret it correctly. They weren't looking for his presence because they believed they were teaching in their books at that time that Jesus' presence began in 1874. So I was just not really sure what he meant by that. It seemed a little,
So I can tell you this, Christine, that Jehovah's Witnesses, nor anybody, including the first century apostles that Jesus chose, are infallible.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about why is he misleading about what happened. it's not that they changed their view, which I know they have many times, but he said that they understood it correctly and recognized the sign in 1914. I mean, you can go listen to it for yourself.
Okay, so the sign that, and I think what he was referring to was that there would be a significant year where Jesus began ruling as king. And in fact, Bible chronology confirms that.
At that time, they were teaching that Jesus already began ruling as king in 1878. So his presence was in 1874. He began ruling in 1878. So I'm not sure what his claim was.
I'd have to do more research on it. I really don't know what you're referring to. I do know that if you ask me right now, when did Jesus begin ruling as king in heaven, I could tell you.
Okay. Well, I'm just...
in fact, Bible chronology helps to confirm it, too.
Because it doesn't. But anyways, but my question is about his claim. It seems like he's rewriting history, which is very, very deceitful. They were actually preaching that Jesus had come. As a matter of fact, even in 1920s, when Rutherford said, advertise the king and his kingdom, do you know that they were advertising that Jesus had already come in 1874 and began ruling as king in 1878? That's what he was advertising, right?
Christine, have you been associated with Jehovah's Witnesses in the past?
No. I just love to read.
Okay. So, based on this information, what are you concluding then? Are you concluding that Jehovah's Witnesses are false and you should steer clear from them?
I'm not making any conclusion. I'm just asking what you think about it. He's supposed to be an authoritative person. They call themselves the Channel of Truth, and it seemed to me like he was lying through his teeth. This was very humorous. I mean, do people not really know what they were teaching in 1914? Most of the witnesses?
Well, once again, I don't understand what your question is, and if it was clear, no, I don't. I can tell you that if you read in Daniel chapter 9, and if you do some research as far as Bible chronology is concerned,
you don't want to take this in, so you keep changing the subject. My question and the fact is that he is lying about the history, and if you check it out, they couldn't have.
Thank you for your concern.
Thank you.
I appreciate you telling me that. And you know what? If I feel that's the case, I will look into it.
I thank you. Thanks for being so nice about it. I hope that you will. And a great website is called jwinfoline.com if you want to check that.
If I ever need more information on that, I'll do that.
Yes. Or check their own writings from that time. Hey, thanks so much for calling you back. I was really happy about that.
Have a nice day.
Okay, God bless.